Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Welcome to Game Over Montreal. It looks a little jittery, so let me know if that's an issue on the stream. But welcome to Game Over Montreal. It's the Hot Ones Gauntlet episode, folks. The Montreal Canadiens lost 5-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're just not the same without Kirby Dach. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Ryan O'Reilly edition for Toronto. We're going to talk about Adam Wylde, SDPN, and SDP, and behind the scenes with Steve, maybe. We're going to talk about Jeff Merrick's dropping possible bombs on Hockey Night in Canada about the Canadiens being quiet at the deadline and what that actually means, and more. But first, we got to tell you about Sports Interaction, my friends. You want to bet? Then get on the action at Sports Interaction. The boys of summer are back on the diamond, and March Madness is on deck. Bet pregame, live in play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN, or in Ontario, download the app right now using the QR code that's on the bottom of the screen one of these ways. And 19 plus, please play responsibly. All right, everyone, I know you're excited, so I'm going to bring in one Adam Wylde right now. Adam, how you feeling?
Nervous. really, really nervous. Honestly, I've been so upset with the Leafs because the whole thing, the whole reason I'm here is because you made me a bet at the beginning of the year. Do you remember what that bet was?
It was if the Canadiens could win one game against the Leafs, you would do this.
And the Canadiens have played the Leafs pretty well, except for the second and third period today all year, and they beat the Leafs in the first game. So this has been guaranteed for a long, long time.
It is extremely funny that they somehow, it seems to almost not matter how bad the Canadiens are. And it was the same way when the Leafs were bad and the Canadiens were sort of good. Like, the gap between the teams, for the most part, doesn't seem to matter. They're always close games, except for this one, apparently.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, after the first period, you were like, that's a pretty close game. And considering how down Montreal is, and Toronto's actually got players back from injury. Like, I think Toronto and Montreal are two of the top teams in man games lost to injury. And the fact that I think, the Leafs are close to like 400 games of like lost man games. The fact that they were like iced such a healthy lineup tonight, it was kind of surprising. It's kind of tough for Montreal because like without Kirby Dach and like what are you really expecting? You know what I'm saying? Like it's pretty tough to play the Leafs hard with that kind of a center core.
And that's like basically what I've been saying the whole season, right? Is I don't think most people who are rational get really upset when the Canadiens lose. It's kind of a good time to be a fan because like you look at the lineup and what really can you expect against teams like Toronto and Carolina? And it's not just missing Kirby Dach. It's missing Sean Monahan, who's been out since early December. It's missing Jake Evans, who's been out now for a few weeks. I guess more than a few weeks, not probably a month. So it's like you've got your first line center in Suzuki there, but then your next three centers are all gone.
Yeah.
Like Christian Dvorak, he tries hard, but I don't think he's very good. And Alex Belzile has been great in his call up from Laval, but he's like a 31-year-old AHL guy who's just, getting it on, trying to make things happen.
And maybe he's a depth guy when they get better, right? Like that's what he's auditioning for. The one thing I'll say is that like in the position the Canadiens are in for fans, this is the fun time, right? The rebuilds are I don't know why teams are so afraid of them. Because if you got a good fan base, they can be a lot of fun. I mean, obviously the Leafs got really lucky. They had Nylander, they drafted Marner, and then locked into the first overall pick for Matthews. So those are pretty good first overall, or pretty good high end picks because you look at certain drafts that come after, and with like Heischer going first overall or second overall, or Nolan Patrick or whatever. The not anything against those players, but they're not like all world players like a Matthews or a McDavid would be. And but what I remember about it the most is like with the Leafs rebuild, there was just no pressure. Everybody was just like, well, here we are and we're enjoying it. And,
pretty much,
Grabner and PA Parento are on our top, power play unit. Let's enjoy this. And I don't know. I liked every game was just sort of an evaluation on players. Like Kadri had a horrible year. He got signed to that extension. But you were looking at like, wow, he can play defensively now. And that was like what we hung our hats on. The Leafs finished 31, I think, 30th, whatever it was. It was bad, but it's fun. It's still fun.
I mean, you're talking to the first ever 32nd place team. The
Oh,
Montreal Canadiens. They're always setting records, Adam. They set another record last year for man games lost. They were over 900, I'm pretty sure. The previous record was in like the 700s.
wow. Well, I guess because 82, like 80 of those would have been Carey Price and 82 would have been Shea Weber, right?
Yeah. Which, again, like, does Shea Weber really count? He's kind of retired. But
I
still.
count him. He's on.
Yeah.
Listen, he was playing the season before. So he,
and he was on the salary cap.
100%. Like this year, I would, if he was still a Canadian, now I know he's a Vegas Golden Knight, I wouldn't count him now. But I think, the year after he and Carey Price drag you to a Stanley Cup, that counts.
For sure.
So,
all right. Should we get this started, Adam?
I'm ready. So what do we,
All right.
okay, explain the rules here for anybody that's never seen this, because
Okay.
I have to be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Hot Ones videos. I've seen like the highlights.
So it's really up to you, but I'll say just tips and tricks. I would say the first thing to do, it's not so much of a big deal right now, but get some of this stuff, get that on the lips before we get into the hot stuff.
Yeah.
Really up to like number 6 or 7, it shouldn't bother you too much. But if you need to take a drink or something, I would recommend something high in fat like milk, or even like half and half. I saw somebody on the show drink half and half. I think honestly the best thing that you could possibly do if you want to actually beat the heat is like the high fat yogurt.
Oh,
Like there's a reason why like in like Indian food, when they have something really spicy, you get like a yogurt added to it, or you can have like a yogurt side.
it cuts it.
So that could definitely work. But there's another school of thought that if you just muscle through it and don't do anything, your body adapts quicker to the literal drug that's in the spiciness, and you kind of muscle through it over time, right? So last time with Julian, we did nothing the whole way through, and then we did a cheers and both chugged a pint of milk. He had almond milk, I had regular milk. Which probably made us more sick than the spicy wings. And it was, the worst part was, Adam, it was after an hour of sitting out, so the milk was warm.
Oh man. Okay, I've got ice water here, but I know that's a bad idea.
Yes, ice water is not the best idea.
Not good, not good. So here's what I'm going to do. If you guys made it through without drinking anything, then I need to do that. I can't like, listen, we can't listen. Julian is tougher than I am already. I can't let him be that much further ahead. I gotta at least try to keep pace here.
All right. Do you have your paper towel? Or some other wiping
I probably should have thought of that. I've got, hold on. I got this Kleenex box that Steve has been using as a VR headset on our show. So
I just watched that today.
This is going to be the one. Yeah, I should have been more prepared on that one.
All right. So my suggestion for that then is designate like specific fingers or even one hand for the wings, because you will start to perspire and you'll want to wipe it. So don't wipe anywhere near your eyes with where you touch the wings. Like Julian got nervous last time because I was wiping with like my pinky, but I was making sure that I was keeping my pinky off wings. I was doing like this.
Okay. So I think I'm going to be right side wings because that's my dominant hand, left side wipe because it's wipe is easy. Okay.
All right. So I've got this little sheet here. I don't have all the bottles with me like last time because I've got less space on my desk. But the first one is the classic Chili Maple Edition. So it's 1600 Scoville heat units. And the classic is always what they lead off with. So it's usually not a big deal, just regular spicy. So I've got that wing right here.
Got it.
And what Julian and I found last time is if you just go through the whole wing, it's like the extra chicken inside kind of helps you through it as well.
Okay.
So your choice. You could just take a bite and put it aside. Right? Oh, yeah. You got to shake it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Definitely shake it. All right. I'm going to start going. Here.
And do we ask the question after the wing? Is that how we do this?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got to open this up. Okay. So what I want to know is like on a out of 10, like what's your usual spicy? Like, are you usually a spicy guy or not?
Well, I like spice, but I'm not a like crazy spicy person.
Okay.
Like, one of my favorite foods is jerk chicken.
Ooh.
But I've had jerk chicken that was too much before.
Okay.
Where it's like, because the nice thing about this is like it's 10 wings. So it's not actually that much to get through. And at the end of the day, I didn't find anyway last time, you're not doubled over the next day. You're not actually eating that much sauce. It's like a whole jerk chicken.
I like
Can
it.
be a lot.
It's a good sauce.
Yeah, it's really good.
No spice to it though. Like nothing.
No.
Now, damn, it's been a minute since I had a good chicken wing. That's a good chicken wing. Mm-hmm. So your wife made yours in the air fryer?
Yep. Yeah, we just bought a box of wings from Costco and then heat them up in the air fryer, toss them in the sauces.
I love it. All right. I'm ready. Okay.
All right.
So now we do a question, right?
Yeah, I'll start us off with, something nice and light, Adam. Keep it easy. Divorce? No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, you want to run me through the whole process or what?
Yeah, I heard. No, here's an easy one. We're going to go away from hockey for a bit because I feel like we can go back and forth here.
Okay.
Obviously, you've had a pretty long career in broadcasting now.
Yep.
What outside of like your mom's career, which I know that you took pains to separate yourself and earn your own way in.
Yes.
Outside of your mom's career, what made you think like broadcasting was a thing? What was like the light bulb that went off? Because you started like right after high school, pretty much, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, outside of being like a nepo baby, you mean? I think honestly, broadcasting for me started. It really is like it is a lot because of my mom, but not in the way you'd think. Like I remember when I was like 4, sitting on her knee at broadcasts, and I knew, 4 years old, you're making a lot of noise and you're energetic and you're all over the place and making a mess. But I knew as soon as her headphones went on, that means she was talking, which meant silence. And the one thing that I always can remember just from that time, and this sounds super corny, but it's all you can really deduce as a 4-year-old, is she was laughing all the time. Like her and her co-hosts were always laughing. And I thought at the time, I'm like, well, that seems like a pretty good job to have where you're just laughing. And obviously there's a lot more work than that, as I came to find out later when I actually did it. But, you kind of, I don't know, that was what kind of drew me to it. And then, of course, falling in love with hockey. Like, I think everybody starts out in hockey probably wanting to be involved in the game, right? Like you want to be a player and then you realize you probably don't have the talent for that. And then maybe you want to be a general manager because it probably feels like you do when you play like EA Sports video games. And then, if you're like me and you don't shut up, calling a hockey game was always what I wanted to do, be like a play-by-play guy. But I just never tried. I never did that. I went to university and as I've talked about on the show a lot, dropped out of that and then was interning at a radio station and started making demos and then sent them out across the country. And I had I could have ended up I remember I had a job offer from Fort McMurray.
Oh, wow.
And another one from Bonnyville, which were both in Alberta.
Bonnyville, yeah.
Yeah, Bonnyville's, there's like a Saskatchewan and an Alberta side. And I believe I would have been on the Alberta side. And then I was really going for a job it was not Vernon, but it was a smaller city outside of Vernon, which is like in the Okanagan Valley. And it was just, it's a place of like 10,000 people. And I ended up getting a job offer in Barrie, which was close to home and I could go to college. And that's what I went to. I did 7 days a week on the air there. And then I would be at college during the day and then I'd, drive up to Barrie and do my evening shift. And that's where I started. So that's how it all came together, Andrew.
I mean, Fort McMurray, we would have ended up bumping into each other that route as well. That would have been kind of funny.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know you're from there.
Well, yeah, I guess I split my childhood between Fort McMurray and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Which is clearly one of the greatest named cities of all time.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, is it my turn? Do I ask a question now?
Or we got to get a wing in. We got to get another wing in.
Is that
so
what we do?
The next wing is, what's it called? Sanai Gourmet. It's a fruity Scotch bonnet pepper combined with tropical fruit like mangoes, papaya, banana. It's a great label. It looks really tasty. Looks really classy, that label. Unique sauce from Sanai Gourmet. Lime juice and sea salt make it the complete package. I mean, that sounds good, but Scotch bonnets in the second
that's a little
second mean. One. That's pretty early. I remember the one that made Julian afraid was when we got to the ghost pepper section.
Yeah, he's right. From what I know, there's some people that are hardcore hot sauce people, and I love a hot sauce, but I don't know enough about the stuff. But I know that, ghost pepper means bad or good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just shaking.
And I should mention, we've got over 550 people here watching. Make sure you like the stream because I see there's not nearly 550 likes on the stream. We got to get that going because it helps us grow, everyone.
Yeah, get the likes up.
Make sure you subscribe to SDPN. This one's really nice.
This is like you know what this hot sauce is good for? It's like a summer barbecue if you don't want barbecue sauce. You know what I mean? It's like light. Mm-hmm. It smells so good. Like it really hits your nostrils. Oh my God. Yeah.
Number 2 last time was my favorite as well. Well, I don't know if this one's going to be my favorite, but number 2 in the gauntlet last time was like a vinegary, light, fruity kind of hot sauce, and it was just really good.
I guess this is all in there to throw us off, right? We're supposed to
feel
good
it's like to kind of hide the hot, right? I can feel that a little bit.
There's a little bit, like there's taste to it.
Yeah, there's taste, but there's some tingle too. There's a big jump on the next one though.
Okay.
From 4,000 Scoville to 15,500.
Okay. All right.
So it gets serious fast.
Peeling the label off of it here. Okay. Getting ready. So now I ask a question, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm curious. Analytics. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's been raging debates for years, but you have been, and ever since I've known you, you have been a person obviously who's been a proponent of it. My question is, in like when we started talking, when we like first chatted on Twitter, it was like 2012, 2013,
probably
something like that. It's like 10 years ago. I want to know how you find out about hockey analytics before that, because honestly, like I was always a hockey fan, but until, like you and like the pension plan puppets started fighting with Steve Simmons on Twitter, like when the hell did this all happen? And when did, I don't know anything about like the history of analytics. Where did this all come from? Who started this?
I mean, a lot of it actually started with Edmonton. A lot of the like original hockey analytics stuff came out of like Oilers fans writing because, I don't know if you know this, Adam, but Edmonton media doesn't have a great reputation around the league.
No, they've got a great reputation.
Really up to par and on modern ideas. Like, I think the average age of that newsroom is like 80. Mm-hmm. But so a bunch of them started blogs in and around there, like Tyler Dello, Vic Ferrari, I believe, was from Edmonton as well. There's a bunch of them. Matt Fenwick, I think, is actually a Calgary Flames fan, but
yeah,
all those guys started around then. I was lucky enough to start blogging around the time that those ideas were like worming their way into the mainstream. And basically what happened for me, I wrote an article, I think it was my first article for Habs Eyes on the Prize after they recruited me, after Robert Lefebvre brought me in. And it was about Scott Gomez. And I just got tore apart in the comments. Like, absolutely shredded.
Did you say he sucked or did you say he was good? Like, what was the thing?
I was saying he was sucking.
Oh, okay.
And like there were a few things that I was right about and a few things where like I was just like, this is how I feel about it. And they were like, well, if you look at this is like factually just straight up a lie. And I was like, well, I wasn't lying. I just didn't know it. So I was like, okay, I gotta like brush up on my information here because from a very young age, like I was the kid who, at 4 or 5 years old, I was buying hockey cards and I was like memorizing the back, like every stat for every player, right?
Yep.
That's how I got into hockey, was obsession with hockey cards. And then I would go into like the local card counter in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and I'd go up and I'm like, I want this Mario Lemieux card that you've got in like the special protection. And he was like, okay, that card's like $45. I was like, I'll give you 10. Yeah. And I'd sit there as like basically an oversized toddler arguing with this guy who owns the store. And my dad's
You're
like sitting there
him down on Lemieux's
and winning. Yeah, I'd like walk in there with like a little zip change purse and be like, this is what I got and this is what you're gonna give it to me for. And the guy would give me the card, and my dad was like sitting there like mortified because his kid is like arguing with this adult. But yeah, so I always thought of myself as like super knowledgeable, super with it. And then when I got like shown up completely, I was like,
right,
I need to understand this stuff and why it's important so that I can know, first of all, if it's bull.
Yep.
And second of all, if I don't know it and it's important, I need to know it. And then I got really into it. And I think it was like 2009, 2010. I used that kind of stuff to do, I was in 4 hockey pools and I won 3 out of the 4 and finished second in the other one.
No way.
Yeah. And then I was like,
Wow.
you know what? I'm done. Fantasy hockey. That's it. That's my swan song. I did the old George Costanza. I left
and
on a
you're
high
done?
note.
You've never done it since?
Never done it since.
No way. Come on. Can we
Yeah.
get you to jump back in next season? Do you think?
No.
No, you'll
'cause
never
now-
do it again?
Well, first of all, I'm busier now. I have 2 kids, and I get too obsessive. You know, when you're setting your lineups every day, it's like another thing to do, and it becomes like not as fun.
Right.
Maybe if we do like an SDPN one, I'll jump back
Okay,
in.
all
But I'm
right.
not going to try
All
to
right.
win or anything. I'll just
Right.
have fun with
Now,
it.
I'm seeing a few comments in the comment section going, are you guys going to talk about the game? Yeah, we're going to talk about the game. We're going
For
to be
sure.
here. We're going to talk about, you know what? My next question will be for Andrew about the game. How's that sound?
Okay. I'll do one about the game as well.
Okay.
All right. So we'll do next one. Next one is a Montreal-based sauce.
Mm.
It's the
don't like
micro-saucery
it.
Pico Peppers, a newcomer to the Hot Ones sauce family. Pico Peppers is bringing fresh flavor to the 3 spot out of Montreal, Canada. Pico Rico features savory and acidic notes of tomato and lemon juice with just right habanero heat. I'm a fan of habanero, so this one should
And
be
weirdly
good.
enough, this one voted to separate from the other 10 hot sauces. It's weird.
Hey, you know what? That's the Alberta sauce now.
No.
Get with the program.
That's true. That's true.
The Wexit sauce.
All right, let's give this puppy a try here.
Rudy Rudiger says, touch eyes merch when. When one of us touches our eyes, we will sell merch for it.
Yeah, well, they've already taken a poll about whether I'll touch my eyes, and it was
I saw that.
88% yes. So
Justin Fisher says, will Andrew do fantasy hockey if I write a blog? Yep.
yeah, but he'll never write a blog.
There you go.
Okay, this one's got a kick to it,
It's good, though.
but it's like smokier,
Mhm.
right? It's good, man. I like this.
Ian MS, how many toddlers do you think it would take to pin you to the ground?
Me personally,
I've got 2.
Mhm.
So, just based on experience, if they're hyper, 3 or 4.
yeah.
Yeah, they can get pretty strong.
I'm assuming if they're trying to pin you, they're hyper.
Yeah,
Has to be
if they're jumping on you, if you give them a head start,
right.
they'll get
Okay.
you.
Yeah, 4 because it's like 1 per limb, and then at
Yeah.
that point, they can kind of take you down. I'm gonna say because my daughter's pretty chill, it would take like 5 or 6 of her. She's not like, but I've got a niece who is like 2, and I'm pretty sure a couple of her already could take me down because she's all gas. There's no brakes with her. So
Yeah, I've
Depends
got
on the-
both
it-
of mine. Scott Matlin in the chat says, does it count, Andrew, if one of them punches you in the bag first? I mean, if there's 4 toddlers around you, one of them is going to punch you in the bag.
whatever it takes to win, right? Whatever. it
Miles
takes
has
to win.
gotten me like 3 days in a row, like hard. Just out of nowhere, he's playing around. It's just like, whap. Like,
I gotta
why?
say, Ryan in the chat's like, dude, you could easily just throw one of the toddlers away. And Zach Wheel from our Edmonton show is like, I could take 15 toddlers, no problem.
Listen,
all right.
I
all
mean,
right.
I think we're all assuming that you're not trying to hurt the toddlers.
yeah.
It is like if
Grand
you're
assumption.
laying down and they're trying to hold you down, right?
Okay. All right. All right. So this next one,
Yeah,
you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, we're gonna
Oh, wait.
skip. Did we do a question?
Oh no, let me do. Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, no. Is it me or is it you doing the question?
I can do the next one.
Do it.
All
Nail
right.
it.
Adam,
Yes.
is it slightly embarrassing that in a game where the Toronto Maple Leafs win 5-1, the best player on the ice is Jake Allen?
No, no, man. Honestly, it should have been like 9-1. And with all the breakaways the Leafs had, Jake Allen was actually really, really good. And I see why Montreal signed him because, you know, at the time I was like, what are you guys trying to do? Like, you know, just let him go. Let the man go win something. And I look at what's happening to Chicago and Anaheim this year. They're not just losing, they're depressing. You know, they're you watch those games, they're fucking dead, man. They're dead.
And we
like
just watched the Chicago Blackhawks, both of our teams, right?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And as bad as they lost to the Leafs, like the Canadians curb stomped them.
Oh, I
the
bet.
Canadiens.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Because here's the thing, Canadians, and I also think Marty St. Louis got a lot to do with this. Ever since who was let go, Marty has come in, and that at least the team is motivated. There's a real swagger to the Montreal Canadiens. And you saw that shot of them going into the dressing room the other day, and they're not winning a lot of games, but they're sort of winning people over. And I think that that's the sign of a team that is too young to worry too much about the consequences, which is an awesome place to be. But B has some solid pieces. And I think Jake Allen, if you look at, there should be an entire account on Twitter dedicated to Dallas Eakins looking depressed. Every time when the Leafs played, first off, the Leafs lost to them, but when the Leafs beat them, you can just see there's he's this is my second job in the NHL. I've worked for 6-7 years to get over the Edmonton thing. And now I'm back and I'm with this fucking team at this time. No kidding. It's brutal. God. He might be a good coach, but I don't know. You've never given him a good team. That team in Edmonton, he's a good coach, was terrible, terrible fucking team. And I sit there and I'm and I'm telling you, Dallas Eakins does, you can tell he's sucked. He hates this. Montreal didn't really have much of a shot against the Leafs tonight, but I still feel like they played them well. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the shot counter, it's not so bad, right? And they got some good chances. You know what? It's maybe controversial, and I know it's a small sample size, but of the 3 Leafs goalies that the Canadiens have played this year, Wall was the best of all 3.
Yeah.
Samsonov, I know Leafs fans like him. There's a few things that I look at with goalies to see whether their performance is actually good or if they just have a good save percentage. And one of the main ones is if you're saving a lot with your extremities, you're probably not very good.
And is that what he's doing?
A lot. Yeah, he saves a lot. If you're on your game in the modern NHL, shots are hitting you in the chest all the time. Okay. That's why
Andrew,
watching Carey Price.
Can you just let us have this one thing though? Can you let us have this one effing thing? Okay.
I'm just saying I'd be a little worried heading into the first round against Vasilevsky. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'd like to see Wall go up against, he lost to Columbus. I was there last Saturday. It was depressing, but it wasn't his fault. He played great tonight. I want to see him against, and no offense to the Blue Jackets of the Canadiens, but I want to go see him against a real heavy hitter team, 100%. where you're okay, this is real pressure. This matters. I want to see him up, throw him out there against Boston, throw him out there against Tampa. Once he's up to it and ready, give him 5 games against bad teams, whatever you want to do. But at some point, we're going to have to make a decision here between Matt Murray and Wall. And Matt Murray has been good, but he hasn't played long enough.
Yeah, he's too injured, right?
Yeah. And I don't even know if he's coming back. I know they keep talking about, well, it could be this, it could be that. But have you heard much about Matt Murray coming back? Not really. Second major-ish injury of the year. Anytime a goalie misses a month and then comes back and plays and then misses another month, how much do you expect from a player who doesn't play goalie to do after missing that much time? Look at what the talk around Ryan O'Reilly was. How is Matt Murray going to be up to snuff so quickly going into the playoffs? I don't know. It's
going to be tough.
It is. And it does make me wonder if they, instead of going out for defense for their next move, because I don't think they're done in terms of trades, do you go get, I think Jeff Merrick mentioned Korpisalo in the second intermission there on 32 Thoughts. Do you go get a Korpisalo who's, played well in the past, has been on a couple of bad years of Columbus, and I don't know what he would cost. Jarmo Kekalainen likes to overcharge for everything, but, the Leafs and Blue Jackets have done deals before.
This is true.
I don't know. Just one of those things where I go do you get the insurance or do you want to see what Wolves got in the next 2 weeks and then make that decision? I don't know.
Yeah. Joe Hill in the chat says, yes, because how dare goalies use their extremities to save goals? Clown face. But I'm not saying that they're bad saves. What I'm saying is that it's a sign that the goaltender is having to react instead of being in the right spot, right? So yes, those are still great saves, right? When a goalie is in recovery mode and they're spinning around and they make a crazy save, yeah, it's good, but it's not necessarily a good sign for future saves down the road, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's literally positioning. It's like defense and forward. You got to be in the right position. This is your area.
Hold on. Okay, the message got deleted. I was just looking what was hidden. All right, let's do the fourth wing there, Adam.
Okay. All right. This one is Las Calientes. And by the way, people are upset. I got just a comment there. There's a shockingly low amount of men crying in here. And we'll get there. Don't worry. But this is our fourth one. So what do you know about it, Andrew? What do we got?
This one is the Hot Ones people make this one.
Oh,
Same as the first one, but this one last time was really, really good. It's one of the best hot sauces that I'd ever had. It's not the same one. The last one was it was jalapenos and it was like smoky flavor and it was really, really good. This one is, it says Maplewood, also smoked red jalapenos and dried chipotle peppers. And it gives Los Cal Barbacoa its flame-kissed flavor. That sounds really good to me.
okay.
The smokiest sauce of the season.
I was grilled in the comment section for not eating on camera. I thought maybe people didn't want to see that, but apparently you do. So here we go.
I would feel bad for the podcast listeners after this show.
It's a lot of
chewing noises the entire show.
No, sorry for the ASMR, but that's really good too.
Yeah, that's a really good sauce.
The best part about this challenge is I'm going to have like beautiful hot sauces in my cupboard for the next little bit. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. And some that will stay there forever.
Yeah, because I'll never touch them again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that was really good.
All right. My question.
Let's go.
Andrew, you are
Yes, sir.
you are a stats nerd guy. You are an asset management guy. You're one of the first people that I remember hearing about asset management and how bad Dave Nonis was at it. I think you probably wrote an article on that or something.
Dave Nonis.
Okay. Did the Leafs pay too much, just enough, or less than what they should have for Ryan O'Reilly and Nola Chari? And Pilar too, I guess.
I would say a lot of it is going to depend on if Ryan O'Reilly's season this year is him, falling off the cliff, or it's just him not playing well, injuries, St. Louis being a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
Out there tonight, I don't think he looked like completely in sync, but he looked good to me. So if they get the Ryan O'Reilly, even of just last year,
right,
not even like Stanley Cup final, Conn Smythe, Ryan O'Reilly, they paid basically nothing for that. Like, this is a huge pickup for Toronto. You look at what has been the Leafs, I think, biggest hole outside of having like a legitimate starting goaltender, which they haven't needed during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that 3C slot. Now they moved Tavares to the wing tonight. I don't know if that's going to be forever.
He looked out of place there. He looked weird there.
He did, but he still got his chances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once they got into the offensive zone, I think he was all right. But I think eventually what's going to happen is either Ryan O'Reilly or Tavares gets slotted down to 3C. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, you have guys like Engvall, who puts up solid scoring numbers by minute, but has to play with like David Kampf, who doesn't really, I know he scored tonight, but doesn't really produce much offense, right? He's more of a defense only guy and like the epitome of human fitness.
Yeah. Yes.
If you've ever seen the guy without his shirt off.
Oh my God. Him and Engvall are like, they're just carved from marble.
Like 36 pack.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like,
crazy.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
But I think if you do that, you've got more offense down through the lineup. And like everyone talks about defense all the time with the Leafs in the playoffs. It hasn't been defense that's killed them. It's not being able to come up with a goal when it counts. And, we've seen some big mistakes over the times that they've lost in the first round, whether it was Mike Babcock being Mike Babcock and too hard-headed to adjust to things, or Sheldon Keefe trying to put the three big guys together in the final game against Columbus a couple years ago, and then trying to put William Nylander at center out of nowhere in an elimination game. Now they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I really, really love the move. And Nola Chari, I wouldn't shake my head at him at all. I don't know if I haven't looked at his analytics. I don't think he's an analytical darling, but he brings something that the Leafs lack, and that's just an asshole. I was talking to Steve
tonight. He looked like he was involved.
He was whacking Jake Allen after whistles and stuff with his stick. And I know Bunting does that too, but I was talking to Steve a couple days ago. We just had a chat one evening. And I was saying one of the Leafs problems that I find is people asked me a couple weeks ago, who's the guy you hate most in the Leafs? And I was like, no one. They
Yeah.
have some punchable faces, sure, but they have no one really who, in the heat of a game, makes you be like, oh, I hate that guy. Noel Acciari could be that guy.
Well, and we were talking about it on the podcast. I think people are giving Steve a lot of shit about it, but on the SDP, we were saying like the fact that Bunting it got exposed a little bit versus Columbus and a little bit in one of the other games this week, because he seems to be the only guy that is or was the only guy that was sort of an a-hole. He was like teams kind of caught wise to it. Like at first he was getting under people's skins. He was getting the calls going his way. And then at some point the refs caught on and boom, flipped. And the thing is that when you're the only asshole on the team, or you're trying to be the only asshole on the team, you can get exposed pretty quickly because it pulls you out of the game. And he lost his temper on a couple occasions and whatever. And Steve's point was, listen, until he can get that control back, you can't have him in these positions because it can cost you, which it did. Now, that doesn't mean Bunting's not capable. That doesn't mean Bunting's not really good. But I wonder with the addition of Ryan O'Reilly, just because he's going to suck up so much attention when he's playing. And, Bunting also plays with Matthews and Nylander. So obviously, there's some attention already drawn there. But I wonder if it'll allow Bunting to be more him. And with Noel Acciari out there too, I wonder if it allows him to be more like Michael Bunting. He can be an a-hole. Acciari can be an a-hole. Ryan O'Reilly's not an easy guy to handle it physically. I wonder if that just gives them that little bit of punch. Like Leaf fans really like that. We've all been super skill people since Dubas came, but we still like somebody who can punch some faces, right? Gary Roberts
100%.
was my favorite Leaf. I loved Darcy Tucker. Those guys were a-holes, and you need.
I loved seeing Darcy Tucker get elbowed in the face.
Oh yeah. That's Montreal Canadian great Darcy Tucker, by the way.
Yeah, I went to a game last Sunday. Brought my oldest to his first game. Sorry. Annoyingly, I can't drink. And in the Canadians, like, how every team has their like little like pump up video at the beginning before the players take the ice. The Canadians have the Kovalev elbow into Darcy Tucker's face in their pump up videos, which is hilarious to throw like a penalty in there. But
jerks.
It is a high level moment for Montreal as a franchise. I will say it's just I'll never get tired of seeing it.
Pain. So what do we got here? The
next one is Fly by Jing, crafted in Chengdu, the heart of China's Sichuan province. Ooh, this one might have some. Sichuan might be numbing. Szechuan Gold brings all the addicting umami notes of chili crisp without the crisp. This oil-based sauce is one of a kind. The flavor lights up the number 5 wing. Oh, this is the one that looks like in the bottle. Yeah, it doesn't look like a hot sauce. It looks like a pop or something. Like
it looks like a juice.
Yeah.
Okay, flat juice. Okay.
And there was a question in the chat. They asked if we prefer the drums, or I forget what the other ones are called now.
Drums or flats?
Or flats, yeah. Kish had the great idea of...
Go.
Kish had the great idea of all flats for the first few, so that I'd have some flats, but then drums so I don't have to like pick through the middle of the wing when it gets spicier.
That makes sense.
I'm a drums person.
I like them both. I don't really have a preference, but I'll tell you, I did all drums on this one so I could have one hand on. You see, it's all on there. And then, a little bit, because it's more involved when you get the flat. So here we go.
That one is really good. Wow. I really like that.
Man, that's good. You know what's good about this hot sauce? Most hot sauces are based on vinegar. Mm-hmm. This one, I guess just oil, the oil part of it, like it sits on your tongue for a minute and you taste it and then feel the spice. Like it's not like some hot sauces. It's just like vinegar. This one gets you on the back of your tongue, kicks you a little bit in the back of your throat too. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm liking that one.
We're getting spicy. I dig it.
Yeah, that one was 46,000 Scoville units.
Okay. Now,
it takes a while to build up.
Let me ask the chat section. At 46,000 Scoville units, are you impressed?
Are you impressed that the man who thinks cereal is spicy is unfazed?
Why do you think I probably have an ulcer, guys? Huh? It's because I love hot food. but I think 46,000 Scoville units is, I think, by any rights, pretty hot, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're having that every day, it's probably a lot.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Andrew. Next question, my friend.
Did I ask the last one?
Oh, did you? No, I asked about. I asked what you thought of the trade.
Right.
It was just. By the way, I just sat there for 10 minutes and was like, "He's saying nice stuff about the Leafs." How about that? We got Andrew.
Just let him go. Just let him go.
Just let him go.
No. Let's. I want to talk a little bit about what Jeff Merrick said in the intermission because I saw a lot of panic on Habs Twitter about the feeling that the Canadiens might have a quiet deadline, and one of the things that I like to do with this show is like, guys, like take a breath, have some perspective, because it's easy as a fan to just like react immediately to every bit of news, right?
Right. And
what basically Jeff Merrick said was the Canadiens are probably going to have a quiet deadline because the veterans that they have, they like, and they're not in a rush to move them. They want to kind of keep some veteran leadership with all the young kids. Now, I would say the takeaway from that is twofold. One, it's Hughes saying he's not a desperate seller, and he's putting that onto the market. And he's like, listen, I don't have to trade anybody. And he's also he's talking about guys with term, right? Yep. So guys like Joel Edmondson, who've been speculated to go for like a first-round pick this year, it would kind of stink if his injury prevents them to do that because like a 2023 first is probably going to be better than 2024.
Yep.
But the only real issue I see with the Canadiens right now in terms of lost potential gains, I guess, is Sean Monahan. Marty St. Louis said today that he's kind of plateaued in his recovery from whatever this injury he's dealing with is, which sounds bad for a guy who's dealt with major injuries for the last couple of years. Plateauing when you're not back in the lineup is not great. So if they aren't able to get anything for Sean Monahan at the deadline because he's not healthy enough to play, that stinks. But the fact is they already got a first-round pick for him to take him on.
Yep.
So you got to put that in perspective. But guys like Edmondson, Hoffman, Armia, you have more years to trade those guys. Like the rebuild's not going to be over tomorrow. So you can be patient and have a better opportunity to get more maybe later. Maybe not for Edmondson. I feel like the market was pretty hot for him for a while, but maybe it might not be with another year tacked onto him with these back injuries. But I don't think he's going out there and saying like, well, we're not trading Evgeny Dadonov.
No, I think he's the guy that's likely going to go.
Yeah, him. If they can find a suitor for Drouin just to give him a fresh start, I think they will. So like they'll make moves. But I think what Merrick is basically saying is like, don't expect a Josh Anderson trade, which is fine because they could trade him at any time over the next couple of years. I think I still don't think that he's a core piece moving forward. Although I will say maybe the Tampa Bay Lightning should look into him after.
Honestly, Andrew, I was literally you stole the words right out of my mouth. If I'm Julien Brisebois, I'm doing what I can to get that guy on my team. Just because who cares about, the thing with Josh Anderson that's so tantalizing is he's got size, he's got speed, and he's tough, and he throws massive hits. He could be Tom Wilson, but then he disappears for 5 games.
Yeah.
And you need like a guy like that, I feel would probably do better on a much deeper team like Tampa because you could just get him to narrow what your expectations are. Josh, we need you to do these 2 things instead of Josh, we need you to do these 5 things. And what a spectacular move that would be for them if it did happen. And holy shit, the Leafs better learn how to shut him down. But I think the reason he does well against teams like the Leafs is for the reason you mentioned earlier. There's nobody on the Leafs that you hate. There was nobody who was big. There was nobody who was punching faces. And he uses that size and that speed to the advantage. When he would play against Toronto in that first round a couple of years ago, that ill-fated first round for the Leafs, he was blowing by guys. He was turnstiling. And, I think he is a valuable trade chip going forward, especially to any team that's going to play the Leafs. But I can see why they're not going to make a move for him now. And I look at the rest of the team, like you said, Dvorak's not. I mean, you could trade a guy like that. Dadonov, what are you going to get? A 4th or a 5th? Maybe.
Yeah. It's not going to be a big haul, right?
He hasn't got a power play goal this year, right? Like it's, there's things that he's supposed to do. He's a goal scorer. Edmondson, if Kent Hughes at any point got a call from the Oilers with that Mark Spector proposed trade, which is Puljujarvi in like a first, if you didn't accept it on the spot, I don't know.
Big mistake.
I can't. I have bad feelings about the Habs rebuild, but I have to be honest with you. I don't think that it was ever an offer, and I don't think do you think Edmonton was ever going to get a first?
Give up a first, you mean?
Or get him. Do you think a team was ever going to give the Montreal Canadiens a first for Edmonton?
Actually,
really going to happen?
I didn't think they would for Sherratt, but then they did. An unprotected
they sure
first.
Did. They sure
So
did.
I wouldn't be surprised, just because I think Edmonton's a significantly more toolsy player than Sherratt is, where like Sherratt can kind of do one thing, and that's cross check and shoot. So two things. Edmondson is a bit more skilled. He had a really rough start to the season, but really started to take off and look more like himself the last couple of weeks before he got hurt again. The big thing with him now is just, can he stay healthy?
Right.
And that's where I think teams get gun shy, and maybe the offers aren't coming through. So if he starts playing, maybe. But Justin says my lips are starting to change color. Yeah, it's true.
maybe
last
maybe
time
what
they were
happens,
like bright pink.
Oh, I remember that. I think maybe what happens is if all the good major trades happen before the deadline itself, I wonder if teams start calling the Canadiens to say, I what do you got? I got to get something. I got to get something done. So,
yeah.
All right.
It'll be one of those down to the line things, right?
Absolutely. This one looks, now we start to get intimidating because we're at number 6.
Yeah, this is called the
Gauntlet.
Turmeric Bomb from Chile Lengua de Fuego. Hot One's favorite Honduran hot sauce maker is back. Turmeric Bomb highlights tangy turmeric, zippy ginger, Scotch bonnet, chocolate ghost, and jalapeno peppers. That's a lot of different peppers. As well as an authentic Honduran spirit called Aguardiente. All right, so this one's got a spirit in it.
Oh, it smells good too. You can smell the turmeric. Oh, baby. That's going to open my sinuses right up, man.
That's a lot of turmeric.
Is it? Do you like it?
Not as much as the last few.
Okay. I'm just getting the hot sauce all over everything here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that's turmeric.
Very turmeric.
Well, that one hits you right away too. It's like
there's some that are like really front facing.
Yes, the
and
last
some that
one,
kind of roll up on you.
The last one, like it hits you in the back.
The worst one, the bomb, I find it like hits you in the back of the throat. Like some hit you in different spots. Oh, jeez, different spots. Yeah, we're getting spicy now. Oh shit.
Woo! I have to be honest with you. With my morning radio show schedule, I'm not used to being up this late, and this is keeping me awake. Holy moly!
Oh yeah, that one builds. Holy fuck!
Woo!
Whew. Justin Fisher says, "I can see a little panic in their eyes. I mean, I've got the hiccups going."
Oh yeah, my nose is running. Hang on. Wow.
Whew.
Wow. Look at this. Wipe my face. That's all the turmeric.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks. Oh. Yeah, that's a kick in the pants, that one.
Oh yeah.
That's a clear change from 5 to 6.
Oh yeah. I was feeling confident. What an idiot.
Oh.
Oh.
Damn. Julian, if you're still around here, I forgot.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's been here.
All right. People are very excited about the turmeric one. And for those asking, there are 4 left.
Yeah, there are 4 left. Oh.
Ooh.
Andrew looks like he's tasting pennies. I'd rather that.
I'd honestly rather lick my own feet. Like that was.
Don't bring up feet, Adam. Don't bring up feet.
Well, yeah, Jesse.
There's already a bunch of people
me,
in the
like,
chat.
Show your feet, Adam.
Oh my god.
Oh. Apparently, the people from Game Over Toronto have also joined us too.
Good. Welcome, folks.
All right.
Congrats on the win.
Woo! Okay. So who's asking the next question? Because I can
You're
barely
up.
talk.
You're up.
I'm up. Okay. I want to ask a question. Like, I love hitting you up for your hockey knowledge because I think because you tweet about the Canadiens so much, people forget that you actually are pretty knowledgeable in the rest of the league.
Yeah.
So I want your picks I want your pick for the conference final in the Western Conference.
Oh,
because that's a shit. There's like 3 or 4 good teams and everybody else sucks. So
yeah.
But the 3 or 4 teams are pretty par. They're close to each other. What do you got?
The funny thing is, like, the couple teams that I would have bet on are now like mired in kind of crappy play.
Okay.
I still think everything comes down to Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, if they can just get moderately healthy, they'll be fine. But man,
Do
that
they make a
McCarr
move?
concussion worries me.
Do they make a move? They got to make a move.
Yeah. They need a second line center.
So what would you get? Who's out there?
I mean, all season I've been saying they could really use Sean Monahan, right? With how good
Yeah.
he's been. And I think he would really fit in their system because he's just got like that really cerebral style of play. He can score goals. He goes to the net. Would accentuate the wingers that they have. Hardworking, smart guy. But if he can't play, like if he's still handling this this injury and it's not getting better, I don't know. Like they should have got Ryan O'Reilly, but I guess that's not a marriage made in heaven.
No,
what
I
happened with
suppose
them
not.
before.
Been
So,
there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other
Okay.
centers on the market,
Yeah.
but I haven't looked too deeply into it. But yeah, I think it comes down to Colorado, and if it's not them, man, I just can't bet against Dallas right now.
Really?
Dallas,
Man,
like,
they're
with
good, aren't
Ottinger, they are crazy good. And like, man, does Joe Pavelski ever age?
No.
Like,
And when
dude,
he signed that deal,
stop
everybody's
it.
like, they're crazy. They're crazy for signing that deal.
Yeah, and then he got extended.
Well, and as he should, man, he deserves it. He's one of those guys. Like, I think his fall off's going to be like Marlowe's fall off, where some guys it's like here's a cliff and I'm off of it.
Mhm.
Marlowe was gradually a little worse every year after he signed with the Leafs, but people forget he scored 27 goals in his first year with the Leafs. He was worth the 6 point whatever they were paying him, plus the mentorship and all the good stuff that he did while he was here. Pavelski is like, I don't know, when Dallas signed him, I was like, why is this old team getting older? It's because he sits in front of the net and scores goals, and that's what they needed. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's Jake Ottinger has just been like, as a fan of a team that cannot draft a goaltender, has not drafted a goaltender outside of James Reimer in my lifetime. I guess Potvin too. It's kind of cool to see that they just went in and replaced, guys like Ben Bishop and who else was playing goalie there?
There was what's his face? God, I can't remember now. But they went to like the conference finals with him.
Yeah, like this is
Like
the
a
thing,
Czech
right? Like, who's
guy.
Dallas's goalie? You never
Yeah.
talk about it, right? But Ottinger is like,
Ottinger's
That's-
legit.
he's a future Vezina winner. He is.
Yeah.
And they play great defense. They've always strangled you. And if they go to the playoffs, they're like the Islanders of the West. They go to the playoffs. No, but like they're the team that you don't want to play. The
Yeah.
Islanders would
Oh,
suck to
Kudobin.
play in the
Oh
playoffs.
shit.
Oh,
Kudobin. That's who it was. what I was
Hudobin,
thinking
yes.
of.
Yeah. Okay.
From Trinket 83. Great call. Yeah, they just they have the right players at the right spots to just be really tough to play against. And then, Jamie Benn finding the fountain of youth.
Crazy.
That helps a lot as well.
So you take Colorado and you take Dallas, not Vegas.
No, Vegas, man, Mark Stone worries me. It's been,
Yeah.
3 seasons now where he's missed significant time with back injuries. And, man, like 2 years ago in the playoffs against Montreal, like, because, like, they lost Pacioretty.
Okay.
I know they have Jack Eichel now,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that was, outside of Pacioretty destroying his Achilles twice, I don't know if that's necessarily that big of an upgrade overall.
It
So I
doesn't
don't
feel
know if
like
they're that much better.
Mhm.
Yeah, Eichel he hasn't hit like the superstar status that I think we all expected him to. And I just think they're like not as deep as they used to be. They committed long term on a lot of guys who had big outlier years, like William Karlsson,
Yeah.
Wild Bill, and who've never hit that again. Like I don't think their
41
depth
goals
is
or
that
whatever
great.
it was.
Yeah, and then like they haven't really graduated any prospects because they trade everyone away. I think they're just a team that like they get there in the regular season because they just spend everything all the time. But I don't know if they're like, is Logan Thompson going to hold up in the playoffs? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be a story if he did. The one thing I'll say before we move to the next wing here is it seems like the player they've been after ever since they traded Nick Suzuki is Nick Suzuki.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
They're looking for that center, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, they were hurt
that
the glass didn't turn out, right?
Yeah, no question. No question. I think it was sort of like the Leafs with Pogge and Rask when they traded. They're like, who do we trade? Justin Pogge or Tuukka Rask? Let's trade the future guy who's going to win the Stanley Cup and go to the finals again.
Well, hey, Tuukka Rask doesn't have a Canadian World Junior gold medal, okay?
No, he sure doesn't. He sure doesn't.
What has he ever won?
This is our next bad boy, by the way.
All right, the next one coming up is number 6 now?
Mm-hmm.
Number 7.
This is number 6.
Number 7.
Oh, this is
There's
7?
4 left. Yeah.
Oh, there's 4 left. Oh, okay.
This one is Karma Sauce. Oh, we had a version of this last time with Julian, and this is where it got real dicey.
Okay.
This spicy mix of red jalapenos and scorpion peppers is a celestial mashup of 2 of Karma's most popular sauces, Cosmic Dumpling and Scorpion Disco. Savory soy citrus notes collide with bright chili balm for some out of this world grooves. All right, we'll see if we're grooving for this one. Okay. There were a couple people who were saying they need a sauce check on your wings.
Okay, first off, here's all like, see all this turmeric that's at the bottom? Like I didn't not put, see that color is the turmeric. So it's not like I didn't put a lot of turmeric on it. But I have no problem showing you.
They're upset that you're handling it so well, I think.
Oh, yeah, well, if somebody said they're suspicious of my very pink, like white lips. Man, I told you I like hot sauces. I do, even though I find cereal spicy.
The last time, like, because everyone's talking about my lips as well, obviously, because they're like fuchsia now.
Bright red, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But the last time we were doing this, they kept on making up like drag names for me because it's like I'm wearing lipstick, right?
Oh yeah,
and
it's a good look for you.
Yeah, I went back into the stream with Julian just to see like how I reacted to stuff, and I think I'm struggling more this time, honestly. But the best one that I saw, they had a drag named Lysandra Bell.
I love that.
Like Lysandra
I love
Bell.
that. It's Lysandra Bell. I think that's
a
great name.
Adam's got a good amount on there. Hi,
I
Kish.
do. Is that enough? Is that enough?
I think so.
I think it's enough. All right. We ready?
All right, so let's go. Yeah, it does look like I have lipstick on. Thank you.
You're a hottie. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This has a ton of flavor. And I'm not dying yet.
Jesus, J Money. Adam lost his lips in the divorce.
No. Hey, this is outstanding. It bites you though. Bites you.
You can tell even before the heat hits.
You can smell it.
That the heat's gonna hit.
Oh yeah. It's that hot sauce that like it's like sticking a needle up your nose. It's like Woo. Oh, it's building. Oh, it's building.
Oh yeah. Woo.
Oh, it's building.
Yeah, that one's rough. That's like a whole
under my tongue.
Oh.
Woo. Oh.
Yeah, it's not great. Oh man. It's like my whole palate is on fire.
Woo! Gonna have to.
All right. So that one is 103,000 Scoville. Ooh.
Do we at least have the comment section's respect?
I hope so. They're saying we are entertained.
Wow.
Our own Lauren Williams says, someone get Andrew some ice cream cake.
Andrew, you put your whole face in that at this point.
I know. That one's rough. I can see it in my eyes. I look like, hi. Lauren, my wife, my beautiful wife, Kish, made me a strawberry shortcake for my birthday. So I might have a piece of that after we're done here.
God, I might go outside and put my tongue on the sidewalk.
Mark says, my lips are redder than the Habs jerseys behind me. Oh my God. That was rough.
Oh, it sure was.
It's starting to cool down a little bit now.
Okay. Is this bad the next day?
Last time it wasn't for me.
Okay.
I don't know if Julian felt it. I don't remember if he had it rough the next day. I know when Scott Matla did it for, I think when they got 1,000 subscribers for Locked On Canadiens, I think he had a rough next day.
Okay.
When he did it. So it might be dependent. Lauren says, are you allowed to drink water? I mean, you're allowed, but
it's a bad idea.
Trying to go the whole way through, and water doesn't help.
Also, Julian and Andrew did this without water last time. We can't we can't. You gotta nut up. You gotta get crazy. Woo! You gotta get crazy.
Oh man.
All right.
I think it's your question. No, is it your question or my question?
It's your question.
I don't know. My question
about the West last time.
All right. Adam, you and Steve often joke about how like school was not your forte.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Which I respect.
Yep.
But obviously you're huge into history.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy like social studies history in school, or is it more a thing that you got into after or outside of it? And like, what was like the thing that piqued your interest and got you into deep diving on history?
I have loved history since I was a little boy. Unfortunately, my grade 12 teacher was more focused on making sure our bibliography was correct rather than the actual content of the papers. And she was a really nice woman, but she kicked my love of history right in the stomach. Like I loved it. It was like I would get like a 90% literally from grade 8 onwards. And it was the only class I can ever remember asking for an extra assignment in, because I'm like, I'll ace this. I love this. This is easy. And I did a whole paper on the Fenians, who were Irish American immigrants who invaded Canada to get back at the British Empire after the Civil War. It's a craziest story. And we don't ever talk about it, but they like showed up and were like, we're going to invade now. So I did a whole paper on that. And oh God, I'm hoping I don't have this shit in my eye. Woo!
Oh, don't. Hope not. If you do, it's not good.
I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Anyway, crazy story. And like that is sort of how I got into it. Just like in grade 8, I had a teacher named Mr. Whitaker, and he kind of looked like John Cleese, and was like awesome, like a great teacher. And then, I had that teacher kind of wreck it. And then I left it alone for about 3 or 4 years. And I think when I really got back into it, because I liked it like little kid onwards, I would watch the History Network. I think I got back into it in my mid 20s. And I think it was sort of Dan Carlin's podcast that was like, holy shit, I love this stuff so much. And then, I started reading everything. I read a 3-volume series on Winston Churchill. And when I say read, because I'm dyslexic, I tend to just go with audiobooks. And my eyes are watering.
Yep.
And the audiobook itself, like each book, or I think the total series was 164 hours. Like it was just a crazy long series. Yeah, crazy long series. Got into extreme depths and stuff. So yeah. I don't know why I like it. Hockey's the same, man. Nobody in my family liked hockey. My dad's from Montreal, doesn't like hockey. My mom's from Pittsburgh. Went to a few games with her dad, because her dad in the 70s was like a season's ticket holder when they were terrible. The Penguins were so bad. And then he was a season ticket holder in Calgary when they were playing at Stampede Park, where his season tickets, he always talks about this, were right next to the organist in Calgary, because the person playing the organ before the Saddle Dome sat in the crowd.
Wow.
They sat in the actual crowd and played the organ, and there was like 5,000. It was a seat. We make fun of Arizona, but I'm pretty sure Calgary's arena right up until the Olympics in '88 sat only about 5,000 or 6,000 people. And I actually still have a certificate of authenticity from the Flames that after he died, he gave me all his Flames stuff. And I gave some of it to some Flames fans that listen to the STP, but some of it I kept. And one of the things that I had was a certificate for the first game ever of the Calgary Flames. And it was against the Quebec Nordiques. And of course, because it's the NHL, they tied 5-5. Boring as hell. But I have that. And that's like probably my coolest piece of hockey memorabilia. It's somewhere in my paperwork. But yeah, anyway, that was a long walk to answer your question. Andrew, I have no fucking clue why I like history, but I love it. And I'm listening to I just finished listening to another history podcast, and I'm listening to a book now on the creator of Nike, because it's just, again, cool history, and it affects us.
For sure.
Oh, boy.
There was a comment earlier regretting that we were teacher bashing, but I think we also, Adam shouted out some good teachers too. So
oh yeah, no, we're not.
It's not about teacher bashing. Like,
I think
a bad teacher can ruin something for you, but I feel like in my life I've had definitely more good teachers than bad.
Way more. That's why the bad ones stand out. I think you're and listen, she wasn't a bad teacher. She was trying to prepare me for university, right? And I was just not a university student. As you know, as I found out when I went, and then was like, I can't do this. I dropped out. You know, I think sometimes you don't even realize what you are or what you're not until you're like, 19, 20, 21. And no, she was a really good teacher. And that sort of thing. It was just one of those things that we didn't necessarily not even get, like, I didn't hate her. I wasn't sitting at the back of the class seething. It was just like, it was more about the structure of your thesis and your essay than the actual content of it. And that's what bothered me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I totally get it. If you're not necessarily looking to go to university, that kind of stuff is,
yeah.
I mean, even if you're in university, that's kind of boring stuff.
Oh man.
It's necessary, but
I took a history class in university, and this is how intimidating this was for me. Because again, I do struggle with, I don't struggle with like reading, like I can do a teleprompter, I can whatever, but reading long times at a time, I just don't have the attention span for it. And so I walked into my first history class in university, and the teacher was like, you're going to spend between 15 and 18 hours a week in the library in this class.
And
I was like,
just left.
I dropped it. I dropped it immediately. I was like, no, I won't. So,
and the thing is, that professor is doing that in order to get you or people who have your same outlook to drop it.
Yes.
Like in the first class like that, that's exactly what they're trying to accomplish.
Yes. And mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Jesse with the poll. What color are Andrew's lips? Scarlet, magenta, fuchsia, or rouge?
They are. Give me like can you just pucker up for a bit? Just give me look at that. Look at that.
People would pay for that.
Painted them.
People would pay for that.
They would pay for that. Big money for that. Sephora's watching this stream going, how do we get that? How do we get that color?
Where did he find it?
All right.
Burt's Bees and Spicy Wings. All right. The next one is Da Bomb. Oh, fuck. Great. So you may be asking yourself, where's the usual Da Bomb? So this is the one where it's a slight cop-out from the actual Hot Ones Gauntlet on YouTube, right? Because they don't sell the one that they put on the show on their website, because they don't sell hot sauces that have pepper oil in them. And that's why that one is so awful. So Da Bomb makes a specific sauce for them to sell, which is this one, which is, I think it's like technically spicier. It's called Da Bomb Evolution, but it's not pepper oil, so it's not as straight up disgusting. But as I can vouch from last time, it still doesn't taste very good.
It doesn't taste good.
Gross. No, it doesn't taste good.
All right.
So
now everybody's saying we're going to be in pain.
Oh, the last couple were pain. So yeah, this one's going to be worse.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because I didn't really know what to expect going in. Do you feel like anxiety before taking a bite here?
No.
Like any sort of worry at all?
I know that from doing it before, it's going to suck, but I know that I can get through it.
Okay.
Mostly I just don't want to hiccup anymore, because the hiccup doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes.
Okay.
I think based on the continual comments about my lips, The trick is, obviously,
Honest.
women, don't buy lipstick anymore. Take some of this hot sauce and
Yeah,
get it on your lips.
it's cheaper.
Maybe a little bit more pain. Yeah, it doesn't taste good. That's the worst thing about this one. And this one builds over time, I think.
I'm sitting here in a little bit of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I can still talk.
I remember around this time last time, it was like, because when you breathe when it's hitting you through the mouth, it hurts more. So I tried to breathe through my nose, and it was like still hurting, like up into my nostrils. Whew.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's coming. That's going.
Whoa.
It elevates. So this one's 135.6 thousand Scoville units. Whew.
Oh.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, this one goes like the back of the throat. It's just, it's not good.
How am I supposed to breathe through my nose when my nose is running? Hang on. Woohoo! Baby.
Oh, that one is just awful.
Oh, it's mean. It's a bully.
Oh,
it's a bully.
yeah.
Ooh.
That one's in there just to piss you off. Oh.
Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Whew.
Damn.
Right, Adam, your question.
Why did we do this? All right.
For the people. For the teachers, Adam. For the teachers.
For the teachers. Oh. Okay. Do you have a question?
Daffy Pro says, cope and seethe. Oh, that hurt to say that.
This is seething. Oh. You should do a Hot Ones challenge, but with just bell peppers with Steve.
I don't think he'd agree to it. We'd have to raise a lot of money for Easter seals.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So, it's hard to spit out a question.
It is. Abel DC says that I hate to do the captions for this.
Sorry, Robert. Or are they auto-generated captions? Are we doing?
I'd say they're auto-generated.
God, question.
Jeff Cassidy, where does it hurt the most? The back of the throat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just awful.
Mark is asking, or no, Mark isn't asking. He's like, is Adam is sweating? Mark, if you know me, I'm always sweating, but it's more. It's more, man. It's more. And I'm in my cold ass basement where the studio is. Woo!
Whew. Oh, Kish, I have to ask you to do me a favor. You got to get the last hot sauce bottle for the dab.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story.
All right.
I'm going to tell you a story. Instead of asking a question, I'm going to tell you a story. I want to know if you've had anything like this happen in your life. Okay. So when I was in Calgary, I used to host hot sauce competitions at a bar called Hudson's. And so every Wednesday night, I would be there doing trivia. And I always used to love to get Calgarians because I'd be like, hey, what number was Doug Gilmour when he was a Calgary Flame? And everybody's like, 93. I'm like, you guys are all Leaf fans. It's actually 39, losers. But I used to have a blast doing that. A bunch of hockey trivia. And then there would be this. They had this hot wings challenge. A lot like this one, but imagine 10 wings of the same, like whatever this is. This is number 9 out of 10 that we're going to do.
Yeah, that intensity.
Imagine that intensity for 10 wings, and you got to eat every single bit. All the fat, all the shit, everything. You got to eat everything. And you got to do it within like 20 minutes. And if you did it, you would then be brought to a challenge with all the other winners throughout the year, and there would be a hotter sauce.
Oh, God.
And you had to do it all over again. And this time, the winner of that, the first one to finish and make them clean bone, would be given tickets to the Stanley Cup final, wherever it was, and flown in five-star, like first class, everything. It was a really cool contest. But the rumor was, and I've never been able to verify if it was true, that somebody had at very least threatened to sue. Now, I know that the threat happened. I'm not sure if the litigation ever happened. But this person, and I'm not going to tell you guy or girl or whatever, this person, this is like in 2013, went home after completing the contest and was very excited. Now, what happens when you have a lot of hot wings? You get a little lubricated. You have steins of beer, right? You have gigantic, like, this is my ice water, which I'm not touching, like this kind of beer, but like 7 times. So he gets in a cab, he goes home, and I just gave it away. It's a he. He and his partner get into it. And like they're having a good night. And his partner had to go to the hospital.
Oh, no.
Because, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, you're not supposed to do that stuff after you do this stuff. And that's as far as I'm going to go with that story.
Oh,
So,
no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, at first I thought you were talking about like a abuse situation. That might be worse.
No, I would not be telling that on. No, no, they were just having, doing the things that people do when people love people, right? And it was I remember hearing about that, and the wait staff was all like, I wonder if we're gonna might be on the news. It was like a real thing. So it was very, very cool. Anyway, have you ever had somebody, or have you yourself ever done anything like that with hot sauce? Like, and I'm not talking about sexually. I'm just talking about, like, I had another friend who made hot wings once and then went down on the couch and, scratched himself and was instantly had to go take a shower because they were in so much pain.
I've been lucky. I used to work at a restaurant and we would make all sorts of messed up stuff when I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a guy there who had like crazy hot sauce, hot wings, and then went to the bathroom. And I don't know if he had to go to the hospital, but he left work. It was bad.
That's good. That's a good story, Andrew.
Yeah, it wasn't fun
Wow.
for him, I'm sure.
Wow. Okay.
Not the brightest bulb, that one.
I like, yeah. I didn't have a good question for you because my mouth felt like it was going to fall out of my face. So that's what I figured. That's the only story I could think of right now.
Yeah. I mean, it gets harder and harder to think of questions, that's for sure.
All right. This is my second last one.
Should we do number 9?
My second last one.
This one is the aptly named Pucker Butt Pepper Co. from Unique Garlic. Or no, it's the Unique Garlic from Pucker Butt Pepper Co. Smoking Ed Curie is back. Oh, that's the guy, I think he made the Carolina Reaper.
Okay.
In the 9 spot, super savory garlic mixes with a super hot chilies, like Ed's famous Carolina Reaper, scorpion, and 7-pot primo peppers. The power of the garlic combined with the heat can do some serious damage, and not just to vampires. So, for reference, the last one was 135,000 Scoville. This one's 642,000. So, Adam, are you acquainted with Carolina Reapers?
Not really. Oh, boy.
This should be fun.
Oh, shit. Okay. So this is 6 times the last one?
Approximately, yeah. Five times.
Okay, let me smell this first. Oh, it smells
good. It just
good.
smells like garlic and vinegar kind of thing.
I like that.
All right,
you go. I'm going to pour it. All right, everybody wants a sauce check. There you go. Got it. Okay.
It's a good one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, somebody clip Adam's face when he heard the number. I find all these ones at the end here, it's always not so bad on the first bite.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes like 45 seconds, and then it's like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm worried about the chicken being swallowed.
Yeah, Yeah, that one's building.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes a lot better than the last one. That's the
Yeah, that
thing.
one's good. It tastes good.
Yeah.
Probably feels
I
like
think-
hell later.
Ed Curie is like really well known in the hot sauce community. So it makes sense that he would balance flavors, but yeah, that one's starting to build up a little bit. Robert says he's going to make a highlight pack. Fantastic. Well, Steve's here.
Hi, Steve.
You both look less alive. I feel very alive.
I'm fired up. Oh my God. Ooh.
I can like feel from right here. I keep on getting like a trickle of sweat
Yeah.
coming out of my hairline.
This is
What
intense.
little is left of it.
Oh.
Whew.
It's in the back of my throat. Give me a second.
Oh, it's the worst. That's like the only place where it's a real bad struggle if you get it there, I find.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's speculating that you have to be up in 4 hours. I don't think you work Sundays, do you?
I don't work Sundays, guys. Just Monday through Friday.
Woo! Oh, so Adam can sleep in tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Until he
Or
has to
not
run to the
sleep
toilet. All right. Now that Steve's here, perfect time to ask this question of you, Adam. Let's dive into the psychology of being a Leafs fan.
Okay. Okay.
You guys are all fired up right now.
Yeah.
The Ryan O'Reilly trade, totally
Yep.
understandable.
Yep.
Great move. Really, especially the cap stuff. Oh man, that hurts to talk.
It sure does.
But my question is, how do you guys still believe? Like, how do you convince yourselves every year? Because it seems like no matter what, it's always the same result, yes. But it seems like you arrive there in a different way every year. And it's like each time more heartbreaking than the last.
Yes.
Because I know like Steve, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before where he was like, I'm not doing LFR anymore. Like, if the Leafs go out this year in the first round of Tampa Bay, because again, it's a legit opponent. It's not
Yep.
the Canadiens or the Blue Jackets.
Yep.
It could happen. Is Steve going to have a tough time going back to making LFRs? Because 82 is a lot, right? It's a lot
82 's
to
a
commit
lot.
to.
82
But-
is a lot.
Like, every year, Leafs Nation, everyone's saying, the passion. But, like, how do you get over that hump of just, like, awful feeling where it seems like you're cursed? And, like, every sport has their one. And the Leafs are 100% that one.
And they don't
They just-
lose. They don't lose like a little. When
No.
they lose. It's like it's a car
It was
crash.
4-1 or
Yeah.
3-1 series lead against the Canadiens, who their number one defenseman has one hand.
Yeah, yeah. And the goalie with hip and knee problems. Holy moly!
Yeah.
My tongue. Does your tongue feel huge? My tongue feels huge. Like
Yeah. It's not
Um,
quite as bad as, when you get like an extra large slushy
Yes.
and then you try to talk like halfway through and you're like, not
Yeah.
quite that bad, but
Ooh.
it feels large.
What that hit. Holy shit. Okay. So first off, no matter what Steve tells you in a moment of frustration, and he's allowed to have those, by the way. And he's been
100%.
doing this since he was like 18, and they've made the playoffs less than 50% of the time. I think they're still at like 35% of the total seasons that Steve has been doing LFR. They've actually made the playoffs.
The ratio of Leafs games to Leafs playoff games is low.
It's very low, very low. I think first of all, what keeps me coming back is I remember, I remember what it was like when the Leafs played in 98-99 against the Sabres in the conference final. I remember what it was like when Philadelphia, which were this awesome team, just had come off going to the Stanley Cup final like 2 years before that. Legion of Doom was still a thing. Renberg and Leclerc and Lindros and Rod Brindamore, Rod the Bod. And they had John Van Beensbroek and Eric Desjardins. Like, it had a good team. They outscored the Leafs in that first round series and still lost. Toronto couldn't get anything going offense wise, but because Cujo was stood on his head, and then they did it again versus, I think, Pittsburgh the next series. Those moments are like singed into my memory, right? I think I was probably 10 years old.
Yeah.
And even the next year, like the Ottawa series that they would have. I was there when Gary Roberts scored in triple overtime. And, you know, I saw somebody, and I actually think it might have been from TSN Montreal. I think it was Mark. Who was it? I forget who it was. Anyway, tweet tonight about how quiet it is at the Leafs, you know, home rink at Scotiabank. And I get it. You know, I think I definitely understand that. It is quiet. We are a bit like everybody sit down, shut up, and watch the hockey game. Don't get in the way. But when that place pops, it pops. When Toronto explodes, it explodes. And you've seen, you know, where there's 18,000 people in the arena and 25,000 outside of it watching it. And so what keeps me coming back personally is that one day it is going to happen. One day this will happen. One day they are going to get to the second round. And it may take forever for that boat to come in, but when my fucking boat comes in, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be right on the dock, waving it in like, hell yeah, let's go. If I have to be 86 and walking around with a diaper on and I got a walker and they finally win the damn thing, I'm going to be just as happy. And I think that's what Leaf fans really believe and really feel. And is it without proof? Absolutely. Is it without merit? Absolutely. And I think that's what kind of makes it fun, is we all kind of accept the madness of being a Leaf fan. If I'm being existential about it. Now, in terms of like, it's funny on our show because, and I'm not sure if we're talking to Game Over Montreal fans, so I'm not sure how many of you are watching SDP regularly, but like there are Leaf fans who give a shit for not being positive enough about the Leafs. And then there are people, Andrew, which, I mean, you've jokingly and lovingly called us out on being homers. And it's sort of like, you don't know.
I mean, of course you are.
Yeah. Well, of course. But like Leaf fans are like, wait a second, how come you're not always happy about this? And then, and then people outside of the market, like all those guys are just, carry water for Dubas in the franchise. So I feel like we're doing an okay job because we're somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, like I get it when Steve's frustrated or when I'm frustrated or Jesse is frustrated, like it's legitimate and it's part of being a fan, but I think you're not frustrated if you don't love the team. Like
Yes,
you don't give a
that's true.
shit. Right. So I think
you mean you don't have a public Twitter meltdown and say I'm no longer a fan of the team after they trade a player if you're not a fan of the team?
No, not mentioning anybody on this broadcast.
People still bring that up. I'm like, guys, that was like 7 years ago now.
It's a long time ago. It's a long time
Let me
ago.
live.
Yeah. Like,
I was in my 20s.
I don't know, man. I think, I don't know. Maybe the comment section can expand on this better than I can, but I'll tell you, even getting to the second round this year, and people are going to laugh at Leaf fans. Like, if the Leafs beat Tampa in the first round, we are going to be, again, the laughing stock of the NHL. Why? Because we'll have to play Boston.
Yeah.
And if the Leafs got through Tampa, and it's like, yeah, we get the second round, everybody's going to be like, oh, you didn't win the cup. And they're going to be right. And then we got to play Boston. If they somehow beat Boston, okay, then it's all going to get kind of serious, right? At that point,
then it's no longer just happy. Now you feel like, oh, we could win this thing.
Like we could. Shit, what are we going to do now? And I think the rest of the NHL, like fans of the NHL, if you're a hockey fan, like if you love at the NHL, like I do, you want to see certain things happen. You want to see Erik Karlsson in Edmonton. If you are a fan of hockey, Erik Karlsson in Edmonton must happen. Has to happen. Okay. If you're a fan of hockey, you want to see Connor McDavid hit between 65 and 70 goals. And not just because I have a bet on that at Sports Interaction.
But partially
that. Like you want to see that. I want to see a 70-goal season. How ridiculous. If you're a hockey fan, you want to see what it's like to see Toronto fans melt down for beating Tampa and then have to play the Bruins because it's going 7 games and have to play the Bruins after the Bruins win like 4-0 in their first series. But I have this one question, and this is for the comment section too. The Bruins are winning like crazy. They won again tonight or this afternoon, and Linus Ullmark is going to win the Vezina and all that stuff. I remember when Brady and the Patriots went undefeated right to the Super Bowl and lost. And I just wonder with a team like that, like the 96 Detroit Red Wings, when you win that much, is there that added pressure once the playoffs start? Like, well, better not fuck this up now, right?
Yeah. I think for Boston, that probably starts in the Stanley Cup final because they've made it there 3 times and only won once.
Right.
But I think the biggest issue for Boston is going to be they're on a mission. Obviously, you can see that, but they're playing so hard in the regular season.
Yeah.
Which Stanley Cup winner in recent memory went this hard in the regular season and was also that old? Right?
And healthy. And they're healthy.
They've been extraordinarily healthy. I think there's a high level of chance that things could go wrong for them right at the wrong time. And you're banking on fate, right? But so much of sports is like the story, right? And as much sometimes it just seems like it's written.
Yep.
And I feel like Boston is one of those teams where their time has passed. They're still great.
You think their time has passed?
I think so,
right
yeah.
now?
I think their time has passed. I think their last chance at a Stanley Cup was against the St. Louis Blues.
Oh!
No
way.
I think there's too many guys on that roster who are critically important who are way on the wrong side of 30. And when push comes to shove in the playoffs, guys are going to get hurt. They're going to struggle to play a little bit harder. And it's just, things are going to come back on them. They're a great team that run a great system, but I don't think they're going to win. I mean, it's an easy thing to say because it's 1 out of 16. Saying, I picked this one team to not win is like, what are the odds that Sports Interaction is going to get to bet against one team? It's not like I'm taking a big risk here, but I don't think the Boston Bruins are going to win.
I love this take. I love this. Oh, you're going to cause a lot of shit, man. I'm running this on the SDP, by the way. I want the whole
let's do it.
I'm taking this. I'm lifting this out, and we're running this on the SDP.
Oop.
That is a hotter take. Am I here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to shake this one up.
That's a hotter take than this hot sauce, man. That take is hot. That's piping. I want that out to the world. That's good. You know what that feels like? That feels like if you're not 24 years old, if you're 24 years old and you don't have a Lambo, you need to sit down. Like that's how that feels.
I was inspired.
This on TikTok. It's going viral.
I was inspired, Adam, by my watch that doesn't tell time.
Well,
I was literally thinking about that the other day. I tried to find it and I couldn't.
It's all been taken down. That I do feel bad for that guy. We kind of went hard on him, but
I don't.
It was
that
little
was
ridiculous.
one of my all-time favorite Steve meltdowns. He's so angry at this friggin' grifter. Oh God! All right, folks, it's time for the last dab. But before we do it, there's a lot of you in here. Make sure you like the stream. Share it on your social medias because more people should watch us suffer. It's all fun in games. All right, last time with Julian, I did a very large last dab, so I'm going to do the same thing this time. Adam's kind of been doing this the whole time.
All right.
So this one, just so you know, Adam, they don't even list the Scoville units for it because apparently it's so hot it can't be measured.
Okay.
So last time I didn't find this one, it wasn't so overwhelmingly hot compared to the last two.
Okay.
It was on the same scale, but it gives you a head rush for about 2 hours.
What?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So here's, can the camera see that? There's a good last dab on there and it's already coated. I've got sweat on my eyes here.
We're going to get you a headband. We'll get Jesse to get some SDPN headbands.
I have one. Oh, we should get SDPN headbands.
We should.
We gotta. You know what, Adam? I appreciated when you were rocking the headband. We got to bring the headband back.
I liked the headband. I didn't know.
The headband was good.
Like it.
They were giving you bullshit about that. You were right.
They were giving shit. They're giving CJ shit about wearing sunglasses on the podcast too. I don't understand. I don't get it. All right, here we go.
It's just fun. There's a lot of vinegar in this one.
Okay. Oh boy.
Clean. Ten up, 10 down. There we go.
Oh boy.
There's a bunch of people saying that I have tears. It's not actually tears. I wouldn't deny it if I was. I definitely am glassy-eyed, but it's sweat under my eyes and over top as well. Whoa! Oh, shit, it's under my tongue. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, that burns. Oh. That's worse than I remember, actually.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's in my nostrils?
Yep, that's not good. Whew. Sean Evans is a madman.
Oh.
Can you imagine doing this like 30, 40 times a year?
No.
While interviewing like Bryan Cranston.
Ah. Woo.
Oh. That is not pleasant. The hiccups are going. Sorry for blowing my nose into the mic. Oh, now I might have tears.
I see what you mean by the head rush.
Yeah.
Woo.
You'll feel it when you get up and walk around too.
Oh. Ah.
Oh my god. We did it. I'm going to take a drink now.
Are you?
Because I can. Yeah, we did it. It counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. There's a lot of warm milk.
Ah. Oh, the hiccups. Oh.
Jeez.
Wow.
Oh.
That is monstrous.
Right?
Wow, Andrew. Holy shit.
It's really, it takes, it's like getting uppercut in the jaw.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what? It feels like somebody is grabbing your tongue with a bunch of safety pins, just the sharp end of safety pins. Going, it's like that.
Or like stuck a ball of sandpaper in your mouth and just like, ugh.
I'm not Andrew Red, but I'm red.
No, fuck.
Oh, Andrew, give the camera another kiss. Here. Show us. Look at that. Look at those lips.
Rihanna, eat your heart out.
Ugh. Woo.
Oh.
Guys.
That was insane.
The active stick. I wonder if that's actually oak leaves. Okay, who's in charge of the wellness check in the morning? That's a good question. Also, no scratching. Do not scratch.
That's the original, the active stick, Laura Saba from
is that
Locked
it?
On Canadiens. Yeah.
Oh, it's Laura. Oh my, what's up? Okay.
The noises, the captions are awful.
Oh, well, there's gonna be some faces that get out there. Oh. Andrew, I'm just checking Twitter.
What's on Twitter?
And it's just, there's a picture of just you from E. Jennings, and it's just, you look like you're going to drop dead, man. Like, woo. Oh, it's up in my gums. It's in my gums.
Yeah, I can feel it like on the inside of my teeth.
Oh.
Noel asks if I'm going on IR after this. Yes, but for an unrelated issue.
Okay,
it's going to be my last time hosting until, at the very least, let's see here. March, no, where am I here? March 5th, at the very least. Mark Dumont will be hosting because next Tuesday, I have a cyst in my jaw right here that has to come out. So they're doing that in a wisdom tooth.
You're not like, it's nothing like serious, right? Just so people
No, nothing serious. They just want to take it out because if I leave it in there for like 20 years or whatever, it'll eat away at my jaw.
which is not, I hear, not great.
Yeah, I don't want my jaw to fall off. So we're just taking that out. Known about it for about 4 years.
Okay.
I've just been lazy.
This is,
But yeah.
listen, man. First off, somebody's saying that Jessica Rabbit's got nothing on you with those lips. And I think they're
That's
right.
right.
The other thing I want to say is Andrew Berkshire, besides doing a fabulous job managing all the SDPN game overs, which you do, you do such a great job here.
Thank you.
You never get the chance to thank you publicly, so thank you. And I can barely speak.
Yeah, everybody thinks that you are holding me at gunpoint every time.
Well, I am. It's not dispel any myths, but I want to say, man, and I want the comment section to help me out here. Like, happy birthday. Thank you for doing this on your birthday.
Thank you.
And what torture. But, man, happy birthday. I hope you actually get the chance to enjoy it this weekend. Is it a long weekend in Quebec, too?
No, it's not. So, I mean, thankfully, with 2 children, that's fine. They can go back to school and daycare on Monday, and we'll relax at home.
Yeah. That's, man, I hope you have a really happy birthday and
Thank you,
get
man.
to enjoy. And everybody who is commenting, they're like, Andrew's a great boss. Oh, look at this happy birthday love coming in. I love it.
Well, listen, I'll say this. The best bosses are the best bosses because they have the best teams. And everyone that we picked for Game Over has surpassed expectations in a multitude of ways. They go above and beyond. They help each other. They stick up for each other.
Yep.
I love them all. Yep. And it's only going to get... Oh, God. Just hit me in the back of the throat again.
It's only going to get...
It's only going to get better. Because the Jerkshire said so.
Oh, man.
And you know what? Thank you to everyone who's been here tonight, because tonight, I don't know if you know, Adam, but there's a huge event going on in Montreal for the WWE.
Oh.
Because Sami Zayn, Montreal boy, is fighting for the title against Roman Reigns. I don't know if that's over yet or not. But everyone who has made the time to come here on a night when that's happening, holy hell do I ever love you. Like, it means so much. And like I've said, pretty much every show for the last year and a half now, coming in here after every game, listening to me and the guests and Mark chat about stuff for this team that's been, in large part, terrible.
Well, the entire time you've done Game Over, they've been among the worst teams in the league.
It wasn't exactly the launch that we
anticipated
under Jeff Ducharme.
No,
but
Jeff Ducharme.
But we really appreciate you coming around for us. It's been amazing to get to know people in the chat and to interact with you and to share this really cool idea with you all. And every time that I feel like I'm shaking. Like it feels like I've got like look at my hands.
Oh,
but like it's been really fun. Every time I do have a stretch of time where I am or I'm not hosting, I do miss it. I really honestly do miss it. So enjoy your time with Mark and the energy that he brings to the show over the next couple of weeks here.
And he brings energy. He does
bring energy. And I will enjoy my slightly relaxed time and going to bed early.
Yes. Yeah. You're going to burn that cyst right out of your jaw if you keep doing these hot sauce competitions, man.
Maybe that's the strategy.
This has been fun. This is my first Game Over, so I've been really enjoying it, and I'm hoping that I get to do a few others. But great time, and thank you everybody for joining us. This has been so cool. Thanks, Andrew.
It's been my pleasure.
Now.
Thanks to you, Adam, as well. We stuck it to a half hour, Adam.
Yeah, we sure did. As we always do on this network.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us here. Thanks, Adam, for coming on with me and doing this ridiculous challenge once again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it next year. This was I'm coping a lot harder than I had to last year, I think.
It's painful, man. It's brutal.
Another year older. All right. Thanks everyone.
Okay.
We'll see you later.
Bye, Andrew. Get better.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction.